So, I guess in the simplest terms, how would you guys describe Trevor, his personality, and who he is?
Greg, you want to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Quiet, always been that way. Comfortable in his own skin, very reflective, not quick about anything, just takes his time. And when he's ready to do something, he knows he wants to do something, or he needs to do something, he does it. Pretty simple.
I would say, I guess my words would be, he's kind of like a conscientious observer.
True.
He'll sit back and observe a situation or an opportunity or just an environment that he's in or other people are in. And we would joke about him being the youngest of three. And so oftentimes he would watch his older brother and sister see the reaction of, how the outcome was. And then in his mind, you can see his wheels thinking, well, I won't do that to get in trouble,
I guess kind of along those lines, we talked about it kind of distance back, kind of processes things before doing it. Then it kind of reminds me of watching him play too. Mm-hmm. Everything's feel like it's thought out. He's already thinking ahead. Is that always has been with his sports, or just everything he does? It's well orchestrated and well. It's not a whole lot of I want to see what happens.
I wouldn't. I think he just takes his time and he observes the landscape, and if the landscape looks good and he feels comfortable about it and feels it's a good move, he'll do it. But if he's not comfortable and he's not sure what it's about, he probably wouldn't do it.
Yeah, he likes to observe. He's never been like a reactor, and so yeah, so he doesn't always react to things. You can't. Wow. Yeah, you can't get him too flustered. You know what I'm saying? Always been a cool cucumber, pretty much.
But when he's engaged, he's engaged.
Oh yeah.
Like when he found basketball, he just grabbed it and never let it go. Mm-hmm. Always focused, always determined, always learning from the others. Never letting disappointment keep him from moving forward and getting better. And just him being able to be in a position where it wasn't working, but making it work or turning it to his advantage was something he did very, very well.
Yeah. And he was good at all sports, actually. Any ball that he touched, pretty much.
Yeah. Pretty much a natural, yeah.
Yeah, he was just a real natural. A funny would be in T-ball. I remember when he went up to pitch, went up to hit. He said, if you take that thing off the stick, I think I can hit it faster or farther, And they would put him in the outfield. So he'd lay in the outfield and wait for balls to come that way. And the ball came that way one time. And I remember he ran over, scooped it up, grabbed it, and threw it to home plate. And everybody was like, whose kid is this? Who? This is like a 6-year-old. Look at this arm on him, Yeah. That's a funny one. Soccer, micro soccer. We had him in micro soccer. He was fast.
Yeah.
He was fast. He was a bowler. Probably won't say much about that.
Played football and was very good at football.
He was very good at football.
He was a running back, very, very good. He didn't like getting hit, so he just stopped.
He
didn't mind
being
getting
out
hit.
in the cold as much, too.
Yeah, he didn't mind getting hit, but the fact is, when he was playing, people watch him break tackles and it wouldn't block for him. He says, I'm not going to sacrifice myself like that, so I'm getting out of this thing.
He was, and pool. He's good at pool.
Oh, he's really good at pool. He beats me in pool. First time he picked up a pool stick, he was doing bank shots. Dude, what's wrong with you? Doing bank shots and making them.
So he's really good at, oh, sorry.
No, he's just very, very good. It just, I mean, he just understood the angles and
Angles, yeah.
how to shoot. He saw it and shot it, and he was beating me at pool within a month.
And we had him doing golf, and so he's picked up golf with the guys after season now. Because I said, I think you should. I think you would. He used to do first tee, but wasn't as interested in it because of basketball.
No, because no, he didn't like because they weren't moving fast enough for him.
That's true.
They had him on the putting green. He wanted to drive balls. He said,
Oh, that's true.
I want
That
to
is
drive
true.
balls, Dad. Let me putting. I want to quit.
Yeah.
And now he's playing it. Now he loves it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking of other sports, but yeah, he's always been really just good at, like he said, at angles and seeing the angle, and that's what makes him good. We'd have company come over and he'd say, "You want to play a game of pool?" Well, they had no idea. It's some little kid asking you to play a game of pool. And Right.
Yeah.
So you can see his little competitive edge when he was younger, but it wasn't like.
But you bring up like every sport he's done, like the methodical thought process of pool and angles.
That's right.
You see it when he plays basketball. When did you guys see that basketball is maybe that passion, or if it was his first passion, or it grew into be his passion for him?
It was his first passion from 2 years old, probably less than 2.
Probably 2, yeah. He had it.
When he was old enough to walk, he was always dribbling the ball, pretty much, to a point that I never said put the ball down.
Always had a ball in his hand. Always shooting the basket. He had a babysitter he went to. And he spent all afternoon when he had break time shooting hoops, and parents would come and pick up their kids and watch him make baskets in the backyard. That's how good he was at 5 years old.
So he was quite, pretty agile.
Yeah, how did you guys kind of let him kind of choose? I mean, obviously it was 2. He just wanted the ball and dribbling and everything, so he kind of maybe chose for himself in a way. But how much did you guys kind of encourage that too along the way of what you want to do, or just do what you want to do too?
I think one of the things that we did is we tried to expose him to as many sports as possible, so that he would know what was out there. His older brother and sister, they're 4 years and 4 years, and his sister played basketball, and so she would have him guard her when he was little. So that was one of the things. And then his older brother is 4 years older than him. When he guarded him, he was a lot tougher on him. Would you say?
He's a lot bigger.
Oh yeah, he's bigger and he's a lot tougher on him. So he didn't have a lot of mercy with him. So
That helps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was. I mean, I knew he really loved. He was doing club ball. I really knew he really had it. His junior high school game in the 7th grade, this guy was defending him, and Trevor crossed him over. He fell down. He went to three-point line and knocked down the three-pointer, nothing but net, and ran the other way, like he did in the Washburn game. And that play, kind of like that one, and just went down the court like it was nothing. I said, "This kid's got it."
I think the whole town at that point went,
So
it was like this big gasp in the gym. And I remember that because everybody thought, did you see what he did? Did you see what he did? And, I was like, yeah, but, we kind of see him do some of that stuff. And so we got him in AAU. He played for MoCan, and he had to try out every year. And he flourished and he did well. And so we would try to get his high school coach to go over to Kansas City sometime to watch the difference in what the opportunities that he had in high school versus the opportunities that he had in a more in a different organized area. You know what I mean? Because they had a different level of expectation for them than the high school did in that sense. And so that was pretty much when we would drive him to Kansas City for his practices, and because that team was a couple hours away that he was on,
You bring up the shot that he made. And I asked him after that buzzer beater on the stand at halftime, And I said, what goes through your head? He called up block, everything else. Yeah, that was, I kind of looked at him like, that wasn't a block. You pulled up in my shot. That mentality that you kind of, probably on the inside of my locker room is not great, but in public, he's not
Yeah.
overconfident because that wasn't a long shot. That was like pulling up hit you guys.
Right, right.
The way he handles himself like that, I'm not going to brag, I'm not going to be super in your face about it. Where does that part come from? He made that shot look like it was the easiest thing he's done all game, and that was took the wind out of him. Saying, "Oh, that's harder than
I think he wants the moment. I think he's not afraid of the moment. You know, some players shy away from the moment. He wants the moment. He wants to be that person that makes a difference where difference hasn't been made. I think that's what makes him. That's what makes him different. He wants to be in. He wants to be in those moments to make a difference for his teammates, and he's always been like that. Can you say so?
Yeah. You know, we were talking about something, and I'm trying to remember what it was. He doesn't play for himself. He plays for the team. And he knows that this is a team sport. And it's not that he's playing for himself, he's playing for the team.
Yeah.
And that team mentality of team involves everybody.
Yeah.
And he's just one person on the team. But he knows that everybody put together makes a bigger difference, one person at a time. But together, they make a bigger difference.
And if you can help him to do that, that's what he wants to do.
Right.
And he's determined to do that. So it's exciting watching him do that.
I was texting Austin Meyer yesterday watching the game and everything.
Uh-huh.
I know Austin helped recruit everything. I was like, how do you find a kid like Trevor who has everything basketball-wise under the radar
Uh-huh.
in high school, but he's also unselfish, and we talk about using unselfish to an extent in the AAU survey. Also, like, Trevor, do this more, be so unselfish. Is that come from you guys? Or where's that unselfishness come from where he just isn't about himself all the time? Like, you know, you see a lot of kids nowadays where it's me, and Trevor's not like that.
Yeah. Hogging the ball or
Yeah,
or
throw a ball,
and,
just throw it.
which is really interesting that you asked that question because, you know, there are times that I think that you probably have seen where Coach may have said to him, shoot more. And then he does. His deal has always been assisting, right? And I think you've seen that because he broke the assist record in high school because it hadn't been touched for
10, 15 years.
yeah, quite a bit. And that was his deal. Assisting because he makes the rest of the team better. And we play together. And I think part of that, and I can't speak for him, but it builds that trust and the leadership of the person who's on the floor as the point guard maybe. And then that you're not the point guard and you're the everything and it's all about you. And he's never been like that. He has just never been that way. He said, it's a team sport, Mom. It's a team sport. And you see other team leaders or players that even if they got that ball in the hand from the time they get it from the other end of that they won't take it out of their hand. They won't pass the ball. And he's never been that way about it.
The other thing also that, you know, I'm a pastor and we're Christians and he sees us serving people. And he sees us serving people, you know, beyond us. And that we take joy in doing that, in empowering people, helping lives to be better. And so it just translates well to him because he sees us being that way all the time.
You know, there was a moment yesterday that he grabbed a rebound and I feel like all the time got just dispersed away from it because when I was let's get a rebound, someone else, those who were kind of like trying to get it, Trevor got it, everybody just dispersed going back down the court. That aurora that he kind of has, that other team put on him because they were like, hey, we gotta get back.
We can't touch him, right?
You can't get too close because he may do something. I wish that were guys to watch what he's able to do out there and like the respect he demands without actually demanding. Right? Like it was just weird to everybody's away and they're just like, we gotta get back, he's got the ball, we can't get beat by it. On this, we'll probably get beat by it, we're not gonna get beat by it like this.
I was sitting watching that a couple of times, whereas other guys who get the ball, who get rebounds, for example, have to have their elbows going two different directions. And I saw that and I thought it was just, like you said, dispersed. And it was like, oh, Trev's got the ball. We're not touching this. We're not even going to fight him for it. You know?
Yeah, I think that people have seen how hard he's worked. They've seen the constant work he does. And I think when you're consistent like he is, you have a presence about you. Just a presence about him when he's on the court, that he's in control. He's not going to make mistakes. He's not going to let you defeat him or let you defeat his team. So when he comes on the court, they know that's what they're dealing with. And he doesn't. It's just the fact, who he is and how he's done what he's done. How you do what you do makes a difference how people perceive you. And I believe the persona that he carries and the presence that he carries is that people know he's about taking care of business. And if you're going to beat him or beat his team, you got to come through him. And he's not going to let you come through him to beat his team. He's going to help them to beat you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
I had a question about loyalty in a sense, because you talked about this last year for some calls about Ben was pretty straightforward with him, but also built that trust that because Trevor said every person said they wanted to for so he feels like he can trust Ben trusts him.
Yeah.
And they created that bond of two-way conversation. Do you think that's why despite media, me, other people are saying, Trevor, you go D1, you could have made that jump when you decided to stay. And the loyalty maybe coach and the program, the guys around him, is that where that comes from? Is him being a loyal guy too?
Yeah, very loyal person. Not one to just hop around because an opportunity looks better. He's a very, very, very wise young man, and he counts the cost in things. In the situation of, he's mentioned, people who have suggested that he jump in the portal, and, some people are left in the portal. Some people are picked up from the portal and they end up somewhere else, and the opportunity might seem better at the beginning and it may not end up being better. And so he was like, I know what I've got. I know what we've got in this team, and I know what we're building. And so that was his choice to stick around and be loyal and continue to build on the foundation that was there, because he saw them going places and he was trying to help the next team of athletes that were on the basketball team rise to their occasion, because that's what he saw that he wanted to do.
Yeah. And also, we have this saying that you dance with the one that brought you.
Yeah.
And he said over and over again that how when no one was seeking him out, Ben McCollum did, and stuck with them and worked with them and helped them succeed from high school to Northwest. And he's not going to forget that. And he stayed because how Ben was loyal to him. He wanted to be loyal in the same way. And I thought that was very much high character with him to do that. He didn't talk to us about that. He just did it.
Yeah.
But that's just in him to be that kind of person. He honors and respects loyalty and faithfulness. And so we were very proud of him that he did that.
I probably know the answer to this question because I've asked him this one. He gets the Player of the Year awards. He gets all the accolades all the time of year.
Right.
He always says that the national championship team was more important than what it is. That truly kind of who he is. Like, yeah, he'll brag maybe about the individual ones every once in a while, but he's more worried about his team awards than he
Yes.
too.
Yes,
for sure.
absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. He's all about team.
The good thing is like at the MIAA tournament, right? And he got the Player of the Year. He just, here, Mom, just walked away. Like it was nothing. Like, here, take it, go. Because he really, he's about the team event and the team success. And I asked her, hey, Trev, what do you want for your birthday? He says, I want to be in Evansville on my birthday.
That's right.
That's what he told me.
That's right.
Well, what do you want? Do you want some new sneakers? He loves he loves basketball shoes. Like, want some basketball shoes? What do you want, man? You want some money? He said, no, Dad, I want to be in Evansville
On my
for my
birthday.
birthday. And here he is on his birthday.
In Evansville.
It's totally
And
cool.
his birthday really doesn't matter to him today. His birthday won't matter to him until the week is done,
Yeah.
when the season is over. Because he's never really had a chance to celebrate his birthday because of basketball or spring break when he was, so that's not as big of a deal, but that wish of being in Evansville is what really mattered to him. So that
Now I get a question for you guys, more about your feelings with Trevor. Watching his success, watching him grow from 2 years old to 23 now. What are you most proud of what he's continued to do?
I mean, for me, I'm in awe of him because, you have people, parents that drive their kids to practices for years. Food, hotels, basketball clinics, different basketball clubs, paying the money to be in those clubs. It costs money to be in those clubs. And yet, everywhere he went, everything he participated, he did the work. He paid attention. He was the hardest worker in the gym. He went hard on every drill. And to see all this, come to pass for him is the most gratifying thing that I've ever been a part of, because I know what it took for him to get here, and he won't talk about it. And he's just playing the game he loves. But being invested like he has, and taking the time to not waste time. Like, I don't feel like any money we spent or any time we spent on the road was ever wasted time, because he put the work in to get it done. And so for me, I'm proud to be his dad. I'm honored to be a part of what is happening to him right now. And we're all better for the experience. I wouldn't have had this experience like I've had traveling the country, being at these games, being a part of these awards, watching him become the player he is, if he hadn't done those things. And so I am greatly appreciative and also so thankful and awe of the person, not just what he's become, what he's becoming.
Wow, when you talk about being proud, I'm proud that he followed his dreams. I'm proud that he has taken the opportunity to just follow through. People start things that they never finish. And that's big. He started, he's finished, and he's not done. And the fact that he has put in the work to do what it takes to get to where he's been. He was putting in work to do things that needed to be done, but people weren't recognizing it, and he was overlooked until Coach McCollum, you saw that article where they talked about, what do you know about this Hudgins kid? And somebody said, he's not good enough for us. And that is probably the thing that hurts me the worst, because I saw, and we saw, other people saw, our town has seen what he has done all of his life as far as his drive for basketball and his drive to play basketball and his passion for what he does with basketball and his passion for being involved in basketball. We saw many little teams being formed around him and excluding him when he was a little kid. You know how parents will form a team so their kid has a place to play? And none of those people, invited him to be on their teams. And I had a friend who was coaching a girls' team who saw the talent in him and said, I'm going to put this team together. And it started with him and a couple kids from our church that loved basketball and some other kids that he knew in the community. They put this team together. They were not winners. And if you ask Trevor today, he'll say, this is what prepared me for every loss that I've ever experienced was those kind of transferable skills. So to hear him talk about that and recognizing the connection of being that small and losing and then moving forward to being able to win, that makes you proud to know what he knows inside of him to get to where he's gotten to. Proud of who he is as a human being, proud of his character, proud of what he stands for as an individual and as a teammate. Just an awesome, awesome young man. He really is. And if I can brag to say that, yeah. And so for Coach McCollum to give him a chance to step forward and to see the skill in him that others didn't recognize or wouldn't give him a chance, I'm proud of that too. That he met the challenge and reached the potential that he's reached. And I don't have words for that. I really don't have words for that. I can say that I don't read everything. I don't keep up because it's too much for social media and all that. And I think it keeps you more level to not read everything coming at you. And I don't know that he does either. And I think that keeps a balance. I do.